Afternoon, everybody. I'd like to call to order the May 21st, 2020 Watertown City Board of Adjustment meeting. Okay, to roll call.
Okay, Hanson,
Here.
Dolly,
Here.
Stein, Oletsky,
Present.
Dargis Johnson,
Here.
Ford,
Here.
Kays,
Here.
and we have a quorum. Liam Culhane is absent.
Thank you, Jill. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the March 19th and May 7th meetings. Need a motion for that approval?
I'd like to make that motion to approve the minutes from both meetings.
We have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. Any discussion on that? We'll take a vote on that approval.
Okay, Oletsky,
Yes.
Dargis Johnson,
Yes.
Stein,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Kays,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Second item on the agenda is a conditional use permit number 20202.
All right. Let me just,
I have.
all right, the owner of this property is Michael Alama, and the owner applicant,
You've been muted. To unmute yourself, press *6.
I don't know.
Trying to mute.
Pete, I think.
You are no longer muted.
Okay, the property address is 4047 9th Avenue Southeast. This is a conditional use request. The applicant seeks approval for warehousing and sales of Class 1.4G fireworks as regulated by the Code of Federal Regulations, the Consumer Product Safety Commission, and Chapter 2181 of this title, which is a listed conditional use pursuant to Section 21.32038 of the I-1 Light Industrial District. Such use is also compliant, or must also be found compliant with Section 210202 2B7A through H, specific rules governing individual conditional uses. The applicant submitted written request which reflects compliance or non-compliance with the following terms of the ordinance. Section 210202 2B7A through H is the ingress and egress to the property, off-street parking, loading, refuse, utilities, service areas, screening, buffering, signage, exterior lighting, required yards and open space, and general compatibility. Chapter 2163 has to do with off-street parking and loading requirements, and there appears to be 39 off-street parking spaces existing on this property. 37 are required by ordinance. Chapter 2165, outside storage and display requirements. There were no plans for outside storage or displays indicated in the application. However, in the I-1 zone, outside storage is permitted. Screening may be required if adjacent land uses are residential or commercial. Acceptable screening must be approved by the building official. And displays of merchandise, any merchandise offered for sale, rental, or lease may be displayed beyond the confines of a building. The landscape and lighting standards of the ordinance require that the minimum number of trees to be located on the development shall be 1 tree per 50 feet of frontage, which would be about 10, and adequate screening of a parking lot from any adjacent residentially used property shall be provided. There must be screening of dumpsters. All outside dumpsters or other garbage receptacles on the site shall be screened by an opaque fence or wall. And just of note, this parcel is currently being annexed and zoned, going through the city council for that, which would become effective on June 12th. This board must consider if satisfactory provision and arrangement has been made concerning 210202 2B7A through H, Chapter 2181, and the regulations just mentioned. If application is endorsed, conditions of approval may be specified.
Thank you, Jill. I'd like to open the public hearing if anybody's here to speak on behalf or against. So this is a property that we've talked about a number of times. They had an agreement with the utilities department with a 5-year time frame that they would annex in within that 5 years in agreement to hook up to city services. Is that right?
So the agreement was for connection to water. So then the Watertown Municipal Utilities made the agreement that they had to annex and zone within 5 years if they were to make that connection.
And so this is tied to some of our previous board activity recently where we looked at the fireworks ordinance as a conditional use within the I-1 and I-2 zones, and then the previous annexation and zoning approval through the Plan Commission. So this is the last piece of the puzzle in relation to this property, the conditional use to be able to sell the fireworks. Anybody in the public to speak on behalf or against this one before I close the public hearing? Hearing none, I'll close that. Any additional discussion from the board? We do need a motion on this.
So you're ready for a motion? To approve
Yes,
it?
sir.
Yeah, I'll move to pass 2022 20202 conditional use permit. Or conditional use for this applicant.
Okay, we have a
Second,
motion
Second
for
by Kays.
approval by Stein, a second by Kays. Any additional discussion before we take a vote? If not, I'll call for a roll call vote. Yep, was there somebody some comment?
Heath here, Mr. Chairman. I was just going to quick point out that the annexation and zoning did pass second reading at council. The zoning, I should say, passed second reading at council along with the annexation on their last meeting here, May 18th. And as Jill indicated, that will become effective June 12th. So the I-1 zoning has been passed by the council and just pending the 20 days publishing for that finalization.
Perfect, thank you. Go ahead and proceed with a roll call vote, Joe.
Stein,
Yes.
Kays,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Dargits Johnson,
Yes.
Oletsky,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes.
and Ford.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is open public comment. Is there anybody to speak to the board on something that wasn't on the agenda today? Anybody? Hearing none, I'll move on for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Stein,
I'll second.
Ford, second.
second by Hanson. We'll take a roll call vote on adjournment.
Stein,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Kays,
Yes.
Oletsky,
Yes.
Dolly,
Yes.
Dargits Johnson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
That's true. Kenny's last meeting.
This is Kenny's last meeting.
Board. It's been a little bit of a wild ride sometimes, but
All of his common sense.
Am I supposed to sign this thing, or did I already sign it?